Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Craving Shaving. Today's shave is going to be a really cold shave, and we're going to get into some science in this shave as well. So I get excited about that. So we're going to go ahead and hop into it. Star of the show is Cannonball by Summer Break Soaps. I love this stuff, and I haven't used it all summer, so I got my sink filled up with some cold water, and we are going to have a cold shave hopefully today. And I'm really looking forward to it. So, the razor that I'm going to be using, I'm kind of with a cold blue theme to blues and greens. So this razor has some lovely blues and greens. Now this one, I don't think is in production. It was a prototype. They do have, this is a West Coast shaving, I forget what they call it, wrapped razor or something like that. I don't remember. But it's like, I think it's that water transfer stuff. Anyway, really nice. And this is one of my favorite razors. I wish they sold more like this with these cool patterns, but I've only seen one, and it's a bunch of like geometric shapes. It's not the most attractive razor in my book. So, but they do have one that's similar to this on West Coast Shaving. I forget exactly what it's called. I'll throw a link to it down in the description. Scott Rowland's brush, again, blues and greens, a little bit of yellow at the bottom, really nice. Space for a coin once that comes in. And this is a silver tip and synthetic knot that I considered using, and maybe at some point I will carry silver tip and synthetic, but I went with a different option this time around, which those knots are on their way, so those will be in my shop shortly. I am going to have a lot more time this week to get some turning done. I am starting school again this week, so my summer's pretty much over. So this is one last hurrah with this Cannonball soap. But my wife and kids are also going out of town from Friday to Tuesday. I'm not going out of town because I have work now, which is kind of a bummer, but I'll be able to get lots of turning done while I have the house all to myself, so that'll be good, because I haven't been able to get much done lately. Alright, so for those of you who aren't aware, Summer Break Soaps, first of all, oh man, Summer Break Soaps, great people, Kyle and April, I want to say, sorry, April, if that's not your name, and it's Kyle Hellebrand, if I'm pronouncing that right. I've seen these things. I've never actually talked to them on the phone or anything, so I think that's how you pronounce their name. That's how I pronounce their name anyway. But I'm a school teacher. We're notorious for getting names wrong. Anyway, this soap in particular is awesome. It has this stuff in it called WS-23. It's a, synthetic cooling agent kind of thing. And it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. Let's really get some water in there. This is a bit of a lather hog, this brush. It's one of those super high densities, which I decided I don't like. So I didn't go with the super high density either. I think normal density is just fine. Alright, let's wet the face. But this synthetic cooling thing has been quite the thing lately, and for good reason. It's nice. It doesn't get cold right away, so if you want that immediate cold feeling, menthol is probably better. But it lasts longer than menthol. This knot is really soft. I do like this knot. It's just I don't like it as much as the other one, I guess, that I went with. But it makes your face cold in the same way, and I was kind of wondering what the difference was, and I didn't get a definitive answer in my research on the subject, but I did kind of find out, well, all of these cooling agents, whether it's menthol or the one in Summer Break Soaps, what did I just say it was? MS-23 or Frescolat or whatever that's in Shell. They all basically do the same thing. And what they're doing is very similar to when you eat a pepper. It makes your mouth feel hot. Even though the temperature actually isn't increasing, it's still making your mouth think, oh my goodness, it's hot. Oh man, I'm already starting to get the cold. It's awesome. I love it. And yeah, so you're not getting a temperature increase, but your body's saying, hey, it's getting hot. This just activates the receptors differently. Instead of saying, hey, it's hot, it's saying, hey, it's chilly. And it's the same with menthol, same with all these synthetic things. They just activate receptors on your skin to say, hey, it's cold. Your body's like, oh, it's cold? Okay, we'll send that signal to the brain. It sends that signal to the brain, your brain's like, oh, it's cold, okay. And you feel cold on your skin. It's pretty cool how they do that, actually. I think menthol, natural menthol comes from like peppermint oil or something like that. I didn't research that part. That's just, I think I've heard that somewhere. So I have no source for that. So take that for what it's worth. I did not get a source for that information, but I'm pretty sure it has to do with peppermint oil or something like that. That's why gum does that too. Same idea. Oh yeah, beautiful cold feeling right now. I'm gonna put some cold water on my face, in between. The receptor, I looked it up. The receptor that it activates is called the TRPM8 receptor. It had some, fancy, obviously stands for some stuff, but maybe I'll put it down here. That'd be pretty cool. See if I remember to do it. Otherwise, it's gonna be me going, down here. Yeah, oh man, this is the best one, I think, so far. Now, it's a very limited experience. I haven't tried the creeper stuff from the Holy Black or anything, but I would say between Chell and Summer Break soaps, I would say their coolant's better than Chell. Gets colder, lasts not as long. I will say that for Chell. Chell lasts hours. If you start sweating, it'll reactivate it. It's quite awesome. But this stuff gets colder, and I like that. But yeah, it's basically the opposite of capsaicin. Which is funny because when we say that we like spicy food, which I do, I like spicy food. What we're really saying, because again, it's sending a message to your brain that's like, hey, it's really hot right now. And then your brain goes, it's hot. Oh, okay. We'll say that's pain. And we experience pain. There's no taste receptors for spicy. They don't exist. There's not like, sweet, sour, bitter, spicy. No, there's no spicy. So when we get that, it's just pain, which is really funny because I quite like. Does that make us people who like spicy food masochistic? I don't know. Okay, that's question for the comments. Okay, I'm gonna start trying to do this every video. I just thought of this. Do you like spicy food or no? And then follow that up with, what is your favorite spicy thing to eat? Or if you don't like spicy, like how far will you go? Like, will you eat mild salsa? Or are you like my mom, where like ketchup is almost too spicy? Where do you fit in there? So go ahead and make that comment. I am going to hurry and rinse off and stuff, and I'll be back in just a second. Okay. Pass 3. Speaking of spicy foods, I talked a little bit last time about my favorite types of YouTube videos to watch, and I guess I failed to mention one YouTube channel or show. It's really a YouTube show that I've really been enjoying lately. And it's on the topic. It's called Hot Ones. Have you ever seen Hot Ones? I'm going to squeeze some of this out. Look how much that hogged. There's a bunch in the bowl too. But Hot Ones, I generally don't like or I really care about like celebrity stuff. Just not something that interests me. In my mind, celebrities are just people. And so when people get all crazy about celebrities, it doesn't necessarily make sense to me, because they're just guys and girls that happen to be actors, or sports stars or something. And for some reason, because a lot of people know their names, people kind of go nuts. And that's just not me. But Hot Ones, I think is great. Not because necessarily of the celebrities, but what they do is they get really, well, they start with mild and they get increasingly more hot wings until they're just ridiculous. And they eat them throughout the interview, and I think that's funny. Yeah. You can check that out if you want. If that's something that would interest you. This razor is probably on the mild side. I love it. But I like a mild razor, so. It's one I can definitely buff with and go back. I will more often with this one chase the BBS shave. And this is probably the razor that I've been most successful with getting a BBS shave. I don't chase it at all with any aggressive razors, so that's part of it. You might not be able to see from the angle. You see where I cut myself with a straight razor the other day? It wasn't bad though. I'm going to meet up with Jeremy, the traveling shaver. I'll put the link to his YouTube video or YouTube channel down below. Because I'm meeting up with him, and one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to give him one of my straight razors. I irritated that cut again a little bit. But it's not bleeding, so that's good. Alright, okay. So let me rinse off real quick. This shouldn't take too long. And then comes the best part of this cold shave. And that is the aftershave. Alright, now, for aftershaves, with the WS-23, you have two options at summer break soaps. You have, where even is the other one? Oh, right there, it's hiding. You have Icy Stare. Let me focus that. Which I love. It's unscented, so you can mix it in with other aftershaves, and it's great. But since I'm using Cannonball, I am going to use the Cannonball aftershave. I own very few aftershaves, but this one is just so worth having. I freaking love this. Again, not menthol. This is the WS-23. Oh man, but just get it all over on a hot day like today. It's actually not terribly hot. Probably in the 80s. Alright. And that will do it. Oh man. So let's get this just gets it cold, and it stays cold, and it's with these synthetic cooling agents, they creep up on you, but they last a long time. And they feel different from menthol. They're still activating the same receptors. I did find that out. But somehow it just feels different. And, oh man, it feels so good. I love it. It feels like I got ice cubes pushing on my face, which is awesome. I overheat quite a bit, so anything that can make me feel colder is awesome. Alright. We used these, let me rinse that off at least a little. We used the Scott Rollins Shaving King Cave brush. I'll wash it out more in a second. But there's the handle. Check that thing out. I really like these bumps here. Make it really nice to hold. And the pour on this is really nice. I like the blues and the greens together. So that's the brush. The razor is just the prototype razor that I got from West Coast Shaving. You can see kind of the green stripes on the blue. It's really nice. It does chip, if you see on the corner there, chip gone out of the paint or whatever kind of coating is on that. Fantastic razor. There's a what is it called? A 7 a.m. blade in there or something. Then we got Cannonball from Summer Break Soaps. Go check them out. I'll put the link down below for specifically Cannonball. I think it's only available for a little bit longer before they, it's a seasonal one, so it'll be gone. I think, don't quote me on this, but I think Icy Stare is year-round. It is a, I love some Icy Stare. So, Kyle is also a school teacher, and I think April is too. It's been a while since I've talked to them about that, but I said Icy Stare would be a good one for a good name for this, and he actually went with it, so I'm kind of happy that he did that. Also, Kyle, if you watch this, you gotta come with a science class themed soap. I don't know what that would smell like. If any of you have suggestions for what a science classroom themed soap would smell like, hit me up in the comments or email me at cravingshaving@gmail.com, or just email Kyle. You can find his info on the website, I'm sure. But I would love, you know, a science classroom theme soap. Even if I didn't like the smell, man, I would buy that stuff. Just, I would love to have that in the something with gunpowder, Kyle. Something with gunpowder. All right, and I think that's it. Then of course, it's feeling so nice right now, guys. Cannonball Aftershave Splash. It is alcohol based. You get the sting, but then immediately it cools right down. It's awesome. Love it. Do wash your hands after, as I'm going to do right after I turn this camera off. Because if you were to touch your eye, I'm wearing contacts right now. If I were to take my contacts out, I'd get the cooling stuff on my contacts, and that just would be no good. So make sure you take care to that. Same thing when you're eating on hot ones. They always say, watch your eyes. If you have spicy stuff, you don't want to be touching your eyes either. So word to the wise, don't touch your eyes. Okay. Anyway, thank you for tuning into this episode of Craving Shaving. Hope you guys have a wonderful day.